the biggest issues for the left, the woke left in their lectures, is climate change. And we've seen a fair amount of that recently. I mean, it's what's happening over with the Dutch farmers. Now they are actually starting to seize the Dutch farmers' farms. They refuse to take the buyouts. And so they're just going to lose their farms because they've decided, well, too many emissions from your farm and you're near an environmentally sensitive area. And therefore, we're taking your farm. Good luck making your future living. It's really not our concern. I know we went into this in depth last Friday, and it's really, we worry that that's a canary in the coal mine because we have woke activists over here who are obsessed with climate change, who would in a second take American farms if they thought they could get away with it. It's a cause near and dear to the heart of Prince Harry, Jesse, who was honored in New York last night, notwithstanding his past swastika wearing as a Halloween costume and his use of racial slurs against his fellow platoon mates. He was honored for his anti-racist behaviors. And on his way to receive his honor, he took a private jet. Then he got into a gas-guzzling SUV. Then he was part of a convoy of SUVs, which I think numbered, was it 3 or 6 SUVs that they, it was 3 SUVs accompanied by 5 security guards after their private jet. And all I could think of was this little soundbite from Prince Harry, same man, at the UN in July on Nelson Mandela International Day. Listen to this.
This has been a painful year in a painful decade. We're living through a pandemic that continues to ravage communities in every corner of the globe. Climate change wreaking havoc on our planet, with the most vulnerable suffering most of all.
And I am the one perpetrating it. It's like, so I'm sure he'd want you to give up your SUV. He doesn't want you in a private jet. But, for him, it's a different story. He's a royal.
Oh, well, people should understand this way of thinking goes way beyond princes. They all think they're princes now, Megyn. I mean, we're fond of doing this on the right, I'm on the right. We point out hypocrisy, right? That's what conservatism has been most of my life. He's a hypocrite. Look at this hypocrite. Look what a hypocrite he is. He's not a hypocrite, all right? He's not a hypocrite at all. He sees himself as a king and a queen. He sees you as a peasant. He's not a hypocrite. Of course, the kings and queens get access to gas-guzzling SUVs and private jets, and they're going to tell you to eat bugs and enjoy the bug soup while they sip on, champagne and eat filet mignon. But it's not hypocrisy at all. Kings and queens get access to things peasants do not. Because he's a king and queen, he gets to decide what you believe. He gets to decide what you're allowed to say, what guns you're allowed to own, what car you're allowed to drive, what job you're allowed to do, because that's what kings and queens do. You, peasant, you don't get access to the thing kings and queens do. We saw this during COVID all the time when every single Tom, Dick, and Harry lockdown politician got caught on somebody's cell phone camera the next night out partying with no mask, hugging people. It wasn't hypocrisy. It was never hypocrisy. It was them being above you. The leaders of the West used to see themselves as the knights protecting freedom. Now they see themselves as kings and queens, and they find your freedoms to be ridiculous. All of them, definitely your climate freedom. And I want people to understand what this looks like in practice, because I get people yelling at me sometimes because I call these people communists, even though that's clearly what they are. And I believe it's Oxfordshire County. I don't know. I'm not from that place, but it's over there in the UK. They're doing a test run in 2024 of climate lockdowns. You didn't think we were done with the lockdown thing, did you? And here's what it looks like. They're going to divide Oxfordshire County into 6 zones. They are then going to set up checkpoints in the main roads between the zones, and you have so many times you're allowed to travel in between the zones, and they will determine who gets a travel pass and who does not get a travel pass. Papers, please. Do you really still think you're not dealing with communists? That's exactly what all these people are.
That is scary. And honestly, back to the Dutch farmers, you're starting to see the extreme ends of this just moral insanity. He's not the only one, Prince Harry, lecturing us. I don't know if you caught the Jane Fonda clip on MSNBC with Ari Melber, but you may not be. I know you're very worried about feminism and toxic masculinity. So this clip is for you, Mr. Kelly. Jane Fonda, Hanoi Jane, has got thoughts on the true root cause of climate change. Listen.
I learn more about climate as I really dig deep, as I have for the last 4 or 5 years. What you realize is, if there were no racism, there'd be no climate crisis. If there was no misogyny, there'd be no climate crisis. It's part of a mindset. It's the mindset that looks at a woman and says, nice tits.
Megyn, one, it pains me to say this about that woman who I loathe, but she's still really hot, especially at that age. Credit to Jane Fonda for being so hot. And it's hard for a feminist to be that hot for that long because bitterness, it ages you faster than a 2-pack-a-day cigarette habit. You know, it just kind of...
I have it on good authority. She's had some work done, but FYI, don't ask her about it.
You know what? Oh, I'm shocked because her cheeks don't move anymore. But still, I mean, credit to Jane Fonda for that. But everything, I'm actually glad she brought that up. It goes back to something I talk about a lot, how we think about these different branches of the American left, American communists, what I call them, but we think about the feminists, right? We think about the feminists and the civil rights hustlers and the LGBTQ and the mob and the climate change people. And we think about them as if they're different, as if they're definitely different. They're definitely separate. No, these people just care about the planet. And these people want women's rights. And they're not separate at all. There's a reason they seem separate, yet they always end up working together and working with one another because they're not separate. They're all one group with one goal. What they're doing is they sell separate things to find separate malcontents. Everyone isn't a bitter feminist with 10 cats. Some people are, but that's a way to bring you into the communist fold. So they go out and say, hey, we'll sell you free cat litter. Just come join us. And then the cat ladies, the feminists, come on inside. Everyone isn't concerned about the planet warming or cooling. Who can track what they tell you it's doing nowadays? But some people are. So you tell them, hey, we'll fix it. You bring into the fold. It's just the old group of malcontents. That's all communism is, brought into the big tent. And they're all told, just give me power and I'll punish the people you blame for your problems. There it is.
It's the Christmas and holiday season, and it's time for gift giving, parties with friends and family, and getting compliments everywhere you go, hopefully. Thanks to the fact that you look years younger per Genucel. Genucel's got you, ladies and men. It's not just for the ladies. Millions of Americans love Genucel's products. And from now until Christmas, Genucel's most popular package, all their best stuff, is 70% off at Genucel.com. Treat yourself and a loved one to the absolute best skincare in the world. See those troubling forehead wrinkles, fine lines, skin redness, pesky bags and puffiness, and yes, even a sagging jawline disappear right before your eyes with Genucel's most popular collection. With its immediate effects product, you will see results in less than 12 hours. Guaranteed, or your money back. And included in every one of their most popular packages is your free hyaluronic acid serum for skin hydration that will restore your youthful appearance. Go to Genucel.com/MK now. Enter my special promo code MK for an additional 10% off your entire order. Every order today, instantly upgraded to free express shipping, so you'll get it soon. Genucel.com/MK60. That's GENUCEL.com/MK60. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.